Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today I want to share a very personal story with you. It's about something important, motivation. Specifically, my motivation for learning English. Many people start learning English, but then they stop. They lose their energy. They lose their desire. I was like that too, for a long time. But then I found my spark. I found my reason, and I want to tell you about it step by step, with many details, so you can find your own spark too. It all began many years ago when I was just a young student. English was a subject at school. It was just another class, like math or history. I learned grammar rules. I memorized vocabulary lists. I did exercises. But honestly, I didn't feel anything special about it. It felt like a chore. It felt like something I had to do, not something I wanted to do. My grades were okay, not great, not terrible, just average. I passed the exams, but I couldn't speak. I couldn't really understand movies, and I certainly couldn't write well. My English was, let's say, very basic. Very, very basic. After school, I started working. My job didn't require English, so I slowly forgot many things. The grammar rules became blurry. The vocabulary disappeared from my mind. I thought, well, English is not for me. It's too hard. I don't need it. I focused on my work, on my daily life. And English became a distant memory, something from my school days, something I had left behind. Years passed. I was happy with my job. I was happy with my life. But then, something changed. My company started to expand. They began to work with international partners. Suddenly, there were new people in the office. They spoke English. They had meetings in English. They sent emails in English. And I felt like an outsider. I couldn't understand them. I couldn't join the conversations. I couldn't read the emails easily. I felt a new kind of frustration. It was not the old school frustration. This was different. This was about my career. This was about my future. I remember one specific meeting. It was a big meeting, with people from different countries. My manager was there. Important people from other departments were there. Everyone was speaking English. They were discussing new projects. They were sharing ideas. I sat there quietly. I tried to understand. I caught a few words here and there, but I missed the main points. I couldn't contribute. I had ideas, good ideas, I thought, but I couldn't express them. I felt small. I felt invisible. After the meeting, my manager asked me, "What do you think about the new project?" I wanted to say so much. I wanted to explain my ideas, but the words, they just wouldn't come out. I stammered. I used simple, broken sentences. My manager nodded politely, but I could see in his eyes that he didn't fully understand. I felt a deep sense of disappointment in myself. That evening, I went home. I felt very sad. I thought, this cannot continue. I need to change. I need to learn English. Really learn it this time. But where to start? And how to stay motivated? I remembered my past failures. I remembered how quickly I had given up before. This time I knew I needed a strong reason, a very strong reason. My first step was to find my why. Why did I truly want to learn English? Was it just for my job? Yes, partly. But it was more than that. I started to think about the bigger picture. If I could speak English, I could connect with more people. I could travel more easily. I could learn new things from books and videos that were only in English. I could understand different cultures. I could grow as a person. It was about opening doors. Many, many doors. This was my first spark, the idea of new possibilities. So, I decided to set a clear goal. Not just learn English, but something specific. I wanted to be able to participate actively in international meetings within 6 months. I wanted to understand complex discussions. I wanted to express my opinions clearly. This goal felt big, but it also felt exciting. It gave me a target. My next step was to find a method. I didn't want to go back to boring textbooks. I needed something engaging. I started researching online. I found many resources. I tried different apps. I watched YouTube videos. I listened to podcasts. I tried to find what worked for me. I discovered that I really enjoyed listening to podcasts about business and technology. Even if I didn't understand everything, I enjoyed the topics. This was a small win. It made learning feel less like work. I also realized the importance of consistency. Learning English is like building a house. You need to put one brick on top of another every single day. You cannot build a house in one day. So, I made a plan. I decided to study for at least 30 minutes every day. No excuses. Even on busy days, I would find 30 minutes. Maybe during my commute. Maybe during my lunch break. Maybe before bed. This consistency, this daily habit, became very important for my motivation. When I saw myself doing it every day, I felt proud. This pride fueled my motivation. One of the biggest challenges was feeling discouraged. There were days when I felt I wasn't making progress. Days when I couldn't understand a simple sentence. Days when I made many mistakes. On those days, I wanted to give up. I wanted to go back to my old ways. But then, I remembered my why. I remembered the meeting where I felt invisible. I remembered my dream of connecting with the world. I also started to celebrate small victories. When I understood a new phrase in a podcast, I would tell myself, "Good job." When I wrote an email with fewer mistakes, I would feel a sense of achievement. These small victories were like little boosts of energy for my motivation. They kept me going. I also found a study partner, a colleague at work, who also wanted to improve his English. We decided to practice together. We would meet twice a week after work. We would speak only in English. At first, it was very difficult. We made many mistakes. We laughed a lot, but we encouraged each other. When one of us felt down, the other would say, "Keep going, you can do it." Having someone to share the journey with was incredibly helpful for my motivation. It made me feel less alone. It made me feel accountable. I didn't want to let my friend down. I started to immerse myself in English. I changed the language on my phone to English. I started reading news articles in English. I watched movies with English subtitles, then without subtitles. I tried to think in English. When I walked down the street, I would describe things in my head in English. A red car, a tall building, a happy dog. This constant exposure, this surrounding myself with English, helped me feel more comfortable with the language. It made English feel less like a foreign thing and more like a part of my life. This immersion deepened my motivation. It made English feel real, not just a school subject. There were moments of doubt, of course. Moments when I felt overwhelmed by the sheer amount of information. moments when I felt like my progress was too slow, but I learned to be patient with myself. I learned that learning a language is not a race, it's a marathon, and every step, no matter how small, is a step forward. I started to appreciate the process, not just the outcome. This shift in mindset was crucial for maintaining my long-term motivation. I also found that connecting English to my passions helped a lot. I love cooking, so I started watching cooking shows in English. I love technology, so I read tech blogs in English. When I learned English through topics I genuinely enjoyed, it didn't feel like studying. It felt like a hobby. This made learning fun, and when something is fun, it's much easier to stay motivated. After about 5 months, I noticed a big change. I was in another international meeting. This time I didn't sit quietly. I listened. I understood most of what was being said. And when it was my turn, I spoke. I expressed my ideas clearly. I answered questions. I even asked a follow-up question. I felt confident. I felt like I belonged. After the meeting, my manager came to me. He smiled. "Your English has improved a lot," he said. That was excellent. His words were like a huge reward. They confirmed that all my hard work, all my struggles, all my consistent effort had paid off. This positive feedback was a massive boost to my motivation. It made me want to learn even more. Now, it's been over a year since I started this serious journey. My English is not perfect, and it never will be. Learning is a continuous process, but I can communicate effectively. I can understand complex ideas. I can express myself with confidence. My dream of working for an international company is now a reality. I interact with colleagues from all over the world every day. And it all started with finding my why, with that initial spark of motivation. So, if you are struggling with English or with any goal, remember this: find your spark. Find your deep reason. Set clear goals. Be consistent. Celebrate small victories. Find a partner. Immerse yourself. Connect it to your passions. And be patient with yourself. The journey might be long, but the rewards are truly, truly worth it. Your motivation is inside you. You just need to find it and let it shine.